Okay, so now that I showed you how to do a simple value scale doing the tonal gradation, I'm going to show you how to do sphere. Same thing, except now our gradations are going to go in this circular form. We're trying to get transform a shape, circle, into a sphere, which is a three-dimensional object. So how can we create the illusion of form, on a two-dimensional flat surface? So here's an example where if this is the light source coming in this direction, you have the highlight, which is the brightest, most bleached out part of the form. You have the midtone right here, where that would probably be the most natural or real color if this was in color of an object, which is like a medium value. Then you have the core of the shadow. The core of the shadow wraps around, almost like a crescent moon shape, the object. And that's what helps to kind of give that illusion of that this become this three-dimensional object. Again, it's not, it's just a drawing on a flat piece of paper. But again, we're trying to get that illusion. Then you have right here, which is called reflected light. So reflected light is light that's kind of bouncing back off of the table surface and back onto an object. It's not as bright as the highlight, but it's lighter. And then you have what is called the cast shadow. So the cast shadow is really dark here at the base, and it's going to be in the shape of the object. Okay, so it's going away from the light source. So those are the kind of the five elements of light. You have the highlight, the midtone, the core of the shadow, the reflected light, and then the cast shadow. And if you break it down into, you can kind of see how it's broken down. So it shouldn't be flat. When you're shading, it's important not to shade a sphere with flat strokes because we don't want it to look flat. So let me get started here. So I'm going to just start by really laying down a real pale layer around the highlight. Okay, and that highlight's going to be a circular shape because this is a circle. If this was on, let's say I was drawing an egg, then that highlight would be a different shape because that highlight's going to be determined by whatever the shape of the object. So what I'm doing now is I'm really pressing. I don't have my H pencils here, so I'm trying to go as light as I can with this HB and without making any pencil marks, no mark making. I'm trying to be as tonal as I can get just by blending with the pencil tip. Okay, no smudging with your fingers, remember. And even at this point, if you have a blending stump, you've done this before and you've used blending stumps, at this point I want you to just try without using any kind of tool to blend besides your pencil. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just kind of fill this shape in with a midtone. I got my kind of like highlighted area up there. Still thinking about, the direction of my mark making, even though I'm not trying not to make marks, the direction of my pencil strokes in this sphere shape. And then I'm just going to kind of blend it in with kind of coloring the whole thing in with this midtone. Try not to make your marks more than a ½ inch long, kind of lose control, and you get a little bit more mark making going on there. So just kind of coloring it in. So now that I have it kind of blocked in, I'm going to then start to build up my value. Remember, going back to, let's show you again, this, where I'm trying to kind of have a gradation of values going down, knowing that they're going to be going in this kind of crescent moon shape as they go down. So now again, just building up my values, short strokes, blending as I go.